For this assignment, we are going to use shading to show depth in a drawing. We're going to start by just drawing 3 organic shapes on our paper. We want them to be close together, but not touch or intersect. So we're going to leave little spaces between them. And then we're going to shade inside those shapes. Make it darker around the edges, and then get a little bit lighter and a little bit lighter as it moves out. Keep those edges nice and crisp. About a 1/2 inch of shading around the inside of each shape. If you need to erase a little bit on top, that's fine. I have a little card that I'm going to put on here to protect my work while I shade around so I don't smear it with my hand. I'll give you some time to do that. So I've shaded inside my 3 shapes, about a 1/2 inch. Now I'm going to just kind of use a paper towel or tissue. Just spread that shading just within the shape. I still want to keep the outside nice and clear. You can even use your finger for this. But we'll just kind of smudge it a little bit just inside the shape. And keep it nice and crisp around the edges. Then I'm going to draw 3 more shapes under these shapes. So you have to think about this. It's fun to make them connect from shape to shape. So if I stop right here, I'll continue over here and come back. There's 1. There's 2. And there's 3. Then I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to shade inside each shape for about a 1/2 inch, making it dark and crisp around the edges, but then get lighter and lighter as it moves away from there. All right, I'll give you some time to do that. So you can see now that I've colored or shaded inside those 3 shapes, dark around the edges and then lighter in the center. I'm going to do the same thing again here, maybe just blend it a little bit so some of my lines disappear and the shading looks a little bit smoother. I still want to be really careful about that very top edge. We want that to stay nice and white. And I can go back and erase it a little bit if I need to, okay? So now I'm going to draw 1 more shape that's going to connect these 3 lower ones. So I have to really use my brain and think about where all this is. And I'm going to put 1 shape that moves underneath all 3 of these little places right here. There we go. And then I'm going to go back, and within that shape, I'm going to do the same thing. Shade it really dark around the edges and lighter in the center. So I'll have 3 layers, a top layer, a middle layer, and that very bottom layer. I'll give you a second to work on that. And so now you can see where I colored this shape, super dark, really dark around the edges and then darker in the center still. So it really looks like we have 3 layers of cutouts and showing depth of space with just shading. You can go back with your eraser and kind of clean up the edges on the very top. Make sure that looks great. And then if you color in the wrong space, which I did, I can always use my eraser to go back and erase it and clean it up. So you're just layering graphite on the paper and taking it back off. This may not get done in one session. Take your time, have fun with it, and see what happens.